Good evening, all of you. Okay. Okay, we are discussing about the transpiration and how the transpiration, okay, that is cohesion, tension, transpiration pull model is involved in the transportation of a scent of xylem sap from the roots to the upper parts of the plant body means. Okay, it mainly depends upon the three physical properties of water, that is a cohesion, adhesion, and the third one is surface tension. Okay, cohesion, that is the mutual attraction between water molecules. Adhesion, that is the attraction of water molecules to polar surfaces at the surface, okay, of trachyary elements. That means the force of attraction between the water molecules within the water, we are calling it as a cohesion or cohesive force. And the force of attraction between the water molecules and the tracheids, we are calling it as adhesive force. And these cohesive force and adhesive force will helps in okay, keeping the water molecules together. And at the same time, the another physical property of the water, that is surface tension, that is the force of attraction of water molecules in the liquid phase. Okay, that is the force of attraction between the water molecules within the water in liquid phase is more when compared to the, okay, force of attraction between water molecules in a gaseous form. So this force of attraction, okay, in the liquid phase will helps in raising the water okay, water level to a height. Okay, so because of this, all these three properties, okay, the water molecule is kept, okay, the water is kept together without any breaking. Okay, that is so these properties give water high tensile strength, that is an ability to resist a pulling force, high capillarity, that is the ability to rise in thin tubes. So because of this adhesion, cohesion, and surface tension, okay, because of the, okay, okay, because of these three properties are, okay, three physical properties, thus, okay, the tensile strength of the water is increased. So because of this, okay, the due to transpiration, even the water molecule is pulled, the water column is unable to break because of the presence of this tensile strength, an ability to resist a pulling force, and a high capillarity, because as the tracheids and vessels are like a tubes, okay, this will work like a capillary tubes, and the ability, okay, and helps in raising the water column to a certain height. So that is so because of all these three properties, water is provided the tensile strength and also the capillarity, so that the water molecule is maintained as a continuous column. At the same time, okay, it helps in the raising of water molecule up to a certain height because of the capillarity. And next, in plants, capillarity is aided by a small diameter of a trachary elements, that is the tracheids and vessel elements. Okay, that means why this capillarity is maintained means because as the tracheids and vessels are, okay, like a capillary tubes, as the tracheids and vessels are like a capillary tubes, okay, they maintain this, okay, big, okay, like a capillary tubes with a small diameter, they act as a small tubular structures and helps in a, okay, this raise in the water column, raise in the water column. And next, the process of photosynthesis requires water. Okay, the process of photosynthesis requires water. Means okay, the photosynthesis for the okay, we all know very well, okay, the oxygen that is released during photosynthesis is coming from the water, not from the carbon dioxide. Okay, okay, in olden days they thought that the oxygen that is released during photosynthesis is coming from carbon dioxide. That is not exactly correct. Okay, the oxygen that is released during photosynthesis is coming from water. So the water plays a very important role in photosynthesis. So we say that the photosynthesis is very much required for a photosynthesis. Okay, the water is very much required for a photosynthesis. And next, the system of xylem. the system of xylem vessels from the root to the leaf vein can supply the needed water. Okay, that means the xylem. Okay, the xylem will form a single structure from the root up to the okay veins of the leaf. So because of this continuous structure that is formed by the vessel. So the vessel, okay, the xylem vessel is involved in the transportation of water from the roots to the veins of the leaf, whatever the water that is needed. But what force does a plant use to move water molecules into the leaf parenchymal cells where they are needed? So what is the force that is okay that is actually involved? Okay, what is the force that is actually involved? Okay, in a transporting the water from the roots to the okay the parenchymal cells of the leaf. Okay, that is nothing but the transpiration. So that is okay, that is what he is explaining. As water evaporates through the stomata, which we are calling it as a transpiration, since the thin film of water over the cells is continuous, it results in pulling of water molecule by molecule into the leaf from the xylem. Okay, when you observe here, okay, first okay the stomata, okay, the opening of the stomata, and immediately following the stomatal opening we'll find the stomatal cavity, the air space or air cavity, and in that the moisture is present, and that is continued with the parenchymal cells, and the parenchymal cells are in contact with the veins of the leaf, and the veins consist of xylem, and which is in continuation with the xylem of the branch and our stem, and the stem will be okay the xylem of the stem will be continued with the roots, okay, the xylem of the roots. So a continuous column of water is present from the xylem up to the air cavity, okay, that is present beside the stomatal opening. So a thin film of water column is present as a continuous layer starting from the xylem, okay, starting from the xylem up to the air cavity that is present beside the stomatal cavity or parenchymal cells, inner parenchymal cells and outer the stomata. So up to that stomatal cavity, a thin film of water is maintained as a continuous column. That is what he is saying. So as the water, okay, that is so here first what happens? The water first evaporates into the atmosphere. From where this water or moisture is lost means from the air cavity, from the air cavity. From the air cavity, some moisture or some water will be lost into the atmosphere, will be lost into the atmosphere. And from the okay, and from the air, okay, and next, whatever the water that is lost by the air cavity that is obtained from the parenchymal cells that are present adjacent to this air cavity. Okay, that means the parenchymal cells will lose moisture to the cavity, and in turn as the parenchymal cells are in contact with the veins which are supplied with the xylem, okay, xylem tissue, so the parenchymal cells will obtain the lost water from the xylem that is supplied to the veins, and okay, or veinlets from okay the veinlets will get water from the veins, and the veins will get from the midrib, the xylem of midrib, and the midrib, the xylem that is supported with the midrib will obtain water from the xylem that is in contact with the stem, and the stem will be in continuous column with the xylem of the root. So in that manner the water will be okay will be taken up from one structure to the another structure, that is the air cavity to the okay the atmosphere will take water from the air cavity, and air cavity will take water from the okay parenchymal cells, and the parenchymal cells will take water from the veinlets, and the veinlets will take water from the veins, and the veins will take water from the xylem of a midrib, and the midrib will take water from the xylem of flow, okay, xylem of the stem, and the xylem of this okay, and the okay the xylem of the stem will obtain water from the xylem of the root, and the root will take water from the tissue, okay, the pericycle, and the pericycle will take water from the endodermis from the cortical cells from the epidermis, and epidermis will absorb water by osmosis from the soil. So like that, a continuous column of water is present from soil to the atmosphere through different structures. Okay, that is how the continuous column of water is maintained. So as water evaporates through the stomata, since the thin film of water over the cells is continuous, it results in pulling of water molecule by molecule. So as the water is lost from the air cavity to the atmosphere, so as the water is a okay, water is made, okay, it's present as a continuous column. What happens means the water is pulled upwards molecule by molecule, okay, into the leaf from the xylem. Also, because of lower concentration of water vapor in the atmosphere as compared to the substromatal cavity and interstellar space, water diffuses into the surrounding air. This creates a pull. So, as the water is continuously lost into the atmosphere from the air cavity that is present beside this stomata, so the water which is lost will pull the water upwards. Okay, that means the air cavity parenchymal cells will obtain, and from parenchymal cells to the veins, the xylem that is supported to the veins are venlets. Okay, so that is so whatever the water that is lost, that one will be replaced molecule by molecule. As a result, the water molecule is pulled upwards. Okay, so it creates a pulling force. The transpiration will create a pulling force which is involved in the okay transport of a water molecule through the xylem from the roots to the upper parts of the plant body. Okay, and next, when you observe here, measurements reveal that the forces generated by transpiration can create pressures sufficient to lift a xylem-sized column of water over 130 meters height. Okay, whatever the pulling force that is generated by the transpiration, whatever the pulling force that is generated by the transpiration, okay, this pulling force, okay, some experiments has revealed that, okay, this pulling force which was generated by transpiration can lift water by a distance of 130 meters height. Okay, the plants, okay, that means okay, the plants which are having, okay, the we have got plants which are height maximum of 90 to 100 meters, 90 to 100 meters, but by transpiration the force that is generated, a pulling force that is generated by the transpiration pull, okay, is able to transport or is able to pull water up to a distance of 130 meters height. Okay, that is so measurements reveal that the forces generated by transpiration can create pressure sufficient to lift a xylem sized column of water over 130 meters high. That means the thickness, okay, up to the, okay, that means up to the xylem thickness, okay, if a capillary tube is of a xylem, okay, xylem diameter, okay, through that the transportation of okay, the transportation of water can be done by a distance of 130 meters as a force that is generated by the transpiration pull. So that's so from this we came, and that means what is the okay, what is the major process that is involved in transportation of water within the xylem means that is the transpiration, because the transpiration can okay, transport water up to the height of 130 meters. So here the transpiration pull is playing a major role in the transportation of water within the xylem. Okay, okay, we can see here the diagram here, it is representing diffusion into the surrounding air. Okay, and okay, and whatever the water that is diffused or moisture that is diffused into the atmosphere, that is taken from the air cavity. So this air, whatever the moisture that is lost by the air cavity, that is obtained by from the parenchymal cells that are surrounding this air cavity, and these parenchymal cells in turn will take water from the xylem tissue that is supported to this leaf, and the xylem which is present in the veins will obtain water from the midrib, and the midrib will obtain from the xylem of the stem. Okay, and the stem will obtain water from the xylem of a root. Like that, in a chain, the water molecule is maintained as a continuous column. Okay, and this continuous column of water is maintained because of the three physical properties of water, that is cohesion, adhesion, and surface tension. So because of this, the transpiration is playing a major role. That means from this what we came to understand means the transpiration pull, the pulling force which is generated due to transpiration is playing a major role in the transpiration of water in the xylem, or ascent of sap in xylem. And next, okay, as already I informed the syllabus for the final examination ma, okay, only whatever the topics we have completed up to now, whatever the topics we have completed up to now, in that whatever the NCRT topics or NCRT chapters related, those only will be there for your examination. That is biological classification, plant kingdom, and next some topics in the morphology of flowering plants, and next the unit 3 full, that is cell, the fund, okay, the structural unit of life, and next the unit of life, and next biomolecules and cell cycle and cell division. Okay, these 6 chapters will be there for your NCRT examination. Okay, remain whatever the topics we have completed, all are not there. Living world is not there. Okay, anatomy of flowering plants is not there. Transportation in plants is also not there. Okay, transportation in plants is deleted from the syllabus.